गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। आज हम एमएससी फाइनल ईयर का फोर्थ पेपर टूल्स टेक्निक में आज का आपका टॉपिक है प्रोटीन सीक्वेंसिंग के बारे में पढ़ेंगे। तो प्रोटीन जो होती है एसेंशियल तत्व होता है या मैक्रो मॉलिक्यूल्स है जो हमारी बॉडी में पाया जाता है। तो प्रोटीन है, इसी से एंजाइम्स बने होते हैं, जीन बना होता है, न्यूक्लिक एसिड जो है डीएनए आरएनए प्रोटीन के बने हुए होते हैं। तो प्रोटीन की सीक्वेंस हमें याद करनी हो तो हम कैसे कर सकते हैं और ये क्यों ज़रूरी है प्रोटीन सीक्वेंसिंग। जैसे मान लीजिए दो निकटवर्ती संबंधी जंतु है, तो इनमें रिलेशनशिप ज्ञात करने के लिए जो स्पेसिफिक प्रोटीन पाई जाती है जीन, अगर उसकी सीक्वेंस कर ली जाए, सीक्वेंस हमें प्राप्त हो जाए, तो हम पता लगा सकते हैं कि क्लोजली रिलेटेड जो भी इनके संबंधी एनिमल्स होते हैं वह किस सीक्वेंस के हैं। तो सीक्वेंसिंग इनकी फाइलोजेनी या इवोल्यूशनरी रिलेशनशिप को ज्ञात करने में सहायता करता है। तो प्रोटीन सीक्वेंसिंग क्या है? प्रोटीन सीक्वेंसिंग इज ए प्रैक्टिकल प्रोसेस ऑफ डिटरमाइनिंग द अमीनो एसिड सीक्वेंस ऑफ ऑल और पार्ट ऑफ प्रोटीन और पेप्टाइड। दिस may serve to identify the protein or characterize its post-translational modifications. Typically, partial sequence of a protein provides sufficient information one or more sequence take to identify it with reference to database of protein sequence derived from the conceptual translation of genes। जीन की सीक्वेंसिंग ज्ञात करने के लिए यहाँ पर दो मेथड दे रखे हैं। टू मेजर डायरेक्ट मेथड ऑफ प्रोटीन सीक्वेंसिंग आर मास स्पेक्ट्रोमेट्री एंड एडवांस डिग्रेडेशन मेथड। एडवांस डिग्रेडेशन मेथड डिग्रेडेशन यूजिंग ए प्रोटीन सीक्वेंसर जिसे कहते हैं मास स्पेक्ट्रोमीट्री मेथड आर नाउ मोस्ट widely used for protein sequencing and identification, but advanced degradation remain a valuable tool for characterizing protein and terminus determining amino acid composition। डिटरमाइन कैसे किया जा सकता है एमिनो एसिड कंपोजिशन का? इट इज़ ऑफन डिज़ायरेबल टू नो द अनऑर्डर्ड अमीनो एसिड कंपोजिशन ऑफ ए प्रोटीन prior to attempting to find the ordered sequence, as this knowledge can be used to facilitate the discovery of errors in the sequencing process or to distinguish between ambiguous results। Knowledge of the frequency of certain amino acids may also be used to choose with which protease to use for digestion of the protein। जो प्रोटीएज एंजाइम होता है यह प्रोटीन को तोड़ने का कार्य करता है, जिससे कि छोटे छोटे फ्रेगमेंट्स हमें मिलते हैं और उनसे हम अमीनो एसिड सीक्वेंस का प्रोटीन का पता लगा सकते हैं। दिस मिस इनकॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ टू लेवल्स ऑफ नॉन स्टैंडर्ड अमीनो एसिड नोड ल्यूसीन इनटू प्रोटीन may also be determined। A generalized method often referred to as amino acid analysis for determining amino acid frequency is as follows: hydrolyze a known quantity of protein into its constituent amino acid, separate and quantify the amino acid in some way। First is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is done by heating a sample of protein in 6 m hydrochloric acid to 100 to 110 degree centigrade for 24 hours or longer। Protein with many bulky hydrophobic groups may require longer heating periods. However, these conditions are so vigorous that some amino acids like serine, threonine, tyrosine, tryptophan, glutamine, and cysteine are degraded। To circumvent this problem, Biochemistry Online suggests heating separate sample for different times, analysis each resulting solution, and extrapolating back to zero hydrolysis time। Like this, Rastel suggests a variety of reagents to prevent or reduce degradation, such as thiol reagent or phenol to protect tryptophan and tyrosine from attack by chlorine, and pre-oxidizing cysteine He also suggests measuring the quantity of ammonia evolved to determine the extent of amide hydrolysis, separation and quantitation. सेपरेशन किस तरह से किया जा सकता है? द अमीनो एसिड कैन बी सेपरेटेड बाय आयन एक्सचेंज क्रोमेटोग्राफी देन derived to facilitate their detection. More commonly, the amino acids are derivatized, then resolved by reversed phase HPCl chromatography जो है. An example of the ion exchange chromatography is given by NTRC using sulfonated polystyrene as a matrix, adding the amino acid in acid solution and passing a buffer of steadily increasing pH through the column. Amino acids are eluted when the pH reaches their respective isoelectric points. Once the amino acids have been separated, their respective quantities are determined by adding a reagent that will form a colored derivative. If the amount of amino acids are in excess of 10 molecules, ninhydrin can be used for this. It gives a yellow color when react with proline and vivid purple with other amino acid. The concentration of amino acid is proportional to the absorbance of the resulting solution with very small quantities down to 10 molecules. Fluorescent derivatives can be formed using reagents such as ortho orthophthaldehyde OPA or fluoroamine. Pre-column derivatization may use the Edman reagent to produce a derivative that is detected by UV light. Greater sensitivity is achieved using a reagent that generate a fluorescent derivatives. The derivatized amino acids are subjected to reversed phase chromatography, typically using a C8 or C18 silica column and an optimized elution gradient. The eluting amino acids are detected using a UV or fluorescence detector and the peak area compared with those for derivatized standard in order to quantify each amino acid in the sample. Next, N-terminal amino acid analysis. Sanger method of peptide and analysis, a derivation of N-terminal with Sanger reagent DNFV, total acid hydrolysis of dinitrophenylpeptide. Here, इस मेथड में एंड टर्मिनल एंड एमिनो एसिड का पता लगा सकते हैं. डिटरमाइन विच एमिनो एसिड फॉर्म एंड टर्मिनस ऑफ ए पेप्टाइड चेन इज यूजफुल फॉर टू रीजन टू ऐड द ordering of individual peptide fragment sequence into a whole chain, and because the first round of Edman degradation is often contaminated by impurities and therefore does not give a accurate determination of the N-terminal amino acid. A generalized method for N-terminal amino acid analysis follow. React the peptide with a reagent that will selectively label the terminal amino acid. Hydrolyze the protein. Determine the amino acid by chromatography and comparison with standard. There are many different reagents which can be used to label terminal amino acid. They all react with the amine group and will therefore also bind to amine group in the side chain of amino acids such as lysine. For this reason, it is necessary to be careful in common reagents are uh, careful in interpreting chromatograms to ensure that rich spot in chosen. Two of the more common reagents are Sanger reagent 1-fluoro-2,4-dinitrobenzene and densyl derivatives such as densyl chloride, phenyl phenyl isothiocyanate. The reagent of Edman degradation can also be used. The same question apply here as in the determination of amino acid composition, with the exception that no stain is needed as the reagent produce colored derivative and only qualitative analysis is required. So the amino acid does not have to be eluted from the chromatography column just compared with a standard. Another consideration to take into account is that since any amine group will have reacted with the labeling reagent, ion exchange chromatography cannot be used and thin layer chromatography or high pressure liquid chromatography should be used instead.